So, there is a pretty big chance that if you're watching this video right now that you were most likely linked to this video from either my Twitch stream or somewhere else, because you asked me the question, Big Ducks, what build should I play for 3.18? Well, surprisingly enough, the answer is Seismic Trap. Do you want a build that's able to do all of the bosses early on in the league? Seismic Trap. Do you want a build that's actually able to clear pretty well early on in the league? Seismic Trap. Do you want a build that doesn't cost very much, is SSF viable, and can do most content on the game on just a few Exalt? Surprisingly, the answer and the best build for that is Seismic Trap. Do you want a build that can actually scale pretty well into the end game if you put enough money into it, and can do pretty much all content in the game and get to the point where it can one-shot most bosses? Seismic Trap. But Big Ducks, I don't want to play Seismic Trap. Surprisingly, the build that you're looking for then is Seismic Trap. Honestly, this build is simply too good. It's been nerfed a little bit in like 3.17 when they originally released it, and it was still one of the best builds that you could possibly do as a league starter. It absolutely annihilates all content in the game. It's very comfortable for bosses. You can make it extremely tanky. You can make it do insane amounts of damage. You can make it kind of do a mix of both. And most likely, this build is going to be nerfed absolutely 10 feet under the ground, buried and never to be remembered again after this league. There's a pretty big chance of that. So if you haven't tried Seismic Trap as a league start yet, you're running out of time at this point. You probably just need to play Seismic Trap. Now, as you might know, pretty much any single build that was in 3.17 and worked there is going to work in 3.18. Now, I didn't have to, but I've taken a quick pass at the 3.17 POB for Seismic Trap and just made sure that everything is good, and it seems like everything is okay. I'll make more updates to it if we get any cool, crazy uniques that just completely break the build open and make something crazy. But I doubt that there's going to be that very many of them. And even if I made literally no changes right now, it will still be absolutely perfect for what you're trying to do. Oh yeah, and did I mention that if you've played Seismic Trap in the past, or you're going to play Seismic Trap for this league, that you should probably like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more Seismic Trap content, and make sure that you hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the Seismic Trap videos. There's actually not going to be any more Seismic Trap videos, so don't worry. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, be warned, before you get into this video, this isn't a build guide. This video right here is not a build guide. The whole purpose of this video is to try to go and get you to watch that video that's up there in the corner. That's my build guide from 3.17. Everything is exactly the same. Nothing has changed. Just go click that video. That's all I actually want you to do. Click the video that's up in the corner, or if it's still even in the corner right now. If you're not convinced, go watch it in a moment after I show you this random map. So the idea here is that we're just running our character from Scourge League. We've got a 6-link Tinker Skin. We've got Cold Iron Points, a Crown of the Inward Eye. Our Seismic Trap is level 20. It's not even level 21 gem. Trap gloves, basic trap gloves, some life and resistance gear. We have one set of cluster jewels, one large cluster jewels. These are super easy to craft, and one medium-sized cluster jewel with like a life and fizz damage jewel on it here, a life and fizz damage jewel there, a life and fizz damage jewel here. You kind of get the idea. There's no crazy gear here. This is a few Exalt worth of gear. If you're worried about the Tinker Skin, I mean, you could just swap this out for pretty much anything else that you wanted to. I guess I could just swap this out for a Tabula right now. Let me find one. All right, here we go. Here we've got a Tabula here. I'm just going to swap all of my gems into this Tabula to show you that you don't need any crazy gear. Here we go to a Tabula. The one change that I will make with the Tabula is that because this is giving us life gained when you like trigger a trap with an enemy, I am going to try to get that somewhere, probably right here. Let's respec a point. All right, so I'm just going to take out a life node. There you go. So we are going to take out one life node. I'm going to take a life gain when a trap is triggered node because I need that from missing the Tinker Skin. So there you go. Crown of the Inward Eye, a Tabula, some random items, Cold Iron Points, which are like a couple chaos by about a week in, and some random gloves, and a very simple set of cluster jewels. We're going to go jump into this tier 16 Chateau map. It's just a random map. This was a character that was perfectly capable of doing 200 stacks of Scourge. If you're interested in watching the video where I do 200 stacks of Scourge, it's linked up in the top right corner now. But you just go in, you throw your Exsanguinate traps down, they do lots of damage, and you don't really need to worry about very much at all. The build is extremely tanky, even without the other, you know, like the Tinker Skin, which was one of the main things even making my build work. Build is extremely tanky, does lots of damage. This build is meant to be more tanky than more damage right now. If you're wanting to do more damage, you can always go the higher damage version with significantly different gear, but you know, you can still do it. It's all linked in the POB down in the description. But you kind of get the idea. You run around, you throw the traps. This is Very little gear, nothing insane. This isn't like 20, 30 exalts worth of gear or something crazy like that. This is gear that you, right now that are listening to this, can obtain within 1 week of playing the game if you apply yourself. If you're an above average player, you could probably get 3 times this amount of gear in a week if you really like committed to it and tried. But these are blue mobs in a tier 16 map. This is on standard, it's just the gear that I had from Scourge, as I said before, but let's go jump to the boss. All right, so here's the boss. So the idea behind this is that you're just going to drop down some bear traps, you drop down your curse. I don't have any mana because I'm not using Thinker Skin, but you drop down all of that, you drop down your curse, you drop down the traps, and it just does lots of damage, right? Boss is dead, couple of seconds. That was with me playing it severely not optimized. I haven't played this build in literally months, and it is that easy. You just literally just spam all your buttons and all your traps, and you just throw everything down on the ground, and you're more than good. All that you have to do. So, as I said, this is literally just a video of me trying to convince you to go watch another video. Go watch my trap guide that is from 3.17. Play this build. If you are one of the people that has come into my chat or come into something else and said, hey, Big Ducks, what kind of build should I play for 3.18? Just play fish traps. It's going to be easy. It's going to be straightforward. It doesn't require any gear. It can scale really high if you wanted to. It can scale really low if you just want a character that'll swap into a second character. It's good for bossing. It's good for clear. It's tanky. It's cheap. Can be expensive if you wanted to. Just go play fish trap. And that is going to be it for the video. Have I mentioned that you should probably try just playing Seismic Trap? If you haven't played Seismic Trap, you should probably try playing Seismic Trap. If you don't want to play Seismic Trap, consider just playing Seismic Trap. So remember, boys, if you enjoy this content, give this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest videos, and stay safe out there in raid class. And I'll see you guys playing Seismic Trap in 3.18.